Hello, welcome to week 4. Okay, so we're going to have a little look at doing a little bit of motivating with those heel work positions first of all. So we're going to have the dog on the left hand side. I've got my cones in a square again. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to walk towards the cone. I'm going to send the dog around the cone. Oh, excuse me. Good. And then back into that heel work position where I'm going to feed it. We get to the next cone. Feed. Good boy. Ready? Feed. Nice. Good. Ready? Woo! Good. Well done. Now you'll notice I'm not saying anything to my dog at all at the moment. I'm not going to give you a word for going around the cone. Of course he has a word for going around the cone, and he could do it without a hand signal. It's not about the dog going around the cone, it's about the dog coming back into a nice heel work position and feeling motivated, that I feel that positivity from my dog. But what I am going to do this time is I am going to tell my dog where to go to once it's done going around the cone, so that it knows that it's the close it is actually being rewarded for. So just have another little go. So I'm going to send him round. Close. Wow. Ready? Close. Good. Close. Good boy. Ready? Close. Good lad. Ready? Close. Good boy. You'll notice as well, I'm trying to get myself into a position where he's going round that cone, but I'm trying to be upright by the time he gets back to me, so that my hand can be in the right heel work position for when he comes into that close. Because eventually, what I want to be able to do to him is go like that. Nice, good boy. And the dog comes in a really nice position. So you can muck about with this quite a lot. You can send them in all different directions. So you could set them up over this way. You ready? Ready? Where's that close? Wow, good. Nice. Sometimes you might take a couple of steps further on. Sometimes you might not. Sometimes you might stand there and just jackpot them in that position. But all the while what you're doing is you're motivating that position for them. So that's your first little test to do this week. The next one is going to be where we're going to change positions. So we're going to still go from left to right. So we've got the dog on the left hand side. This time they're going to do what I call a fly, which is a backward move. Oh, it's a backward movement to the right hand side. This quite excites the dogs going backwards. So I always found when Troy was younger, this was a very motivational move for him, because the going backwards was the bit that was very exciting. So in order to get that backward movement, what we're going to do to begin with, take the dog off your body at an angle to begin with, put your right leg behind the dog, and the dog is going to go just in a straight line backwards, and then you step forward and they come into the right hand side. On the right hand side, take the dog off the leg so that they're in a little diagonal line. You're going to move your left leg behind the dog then goes back in a straight line, step forward, and the dog comes into the heel work position on the left hand side. So this is what I call fly, really, because it's kind of like the dog is just flying through your legs. Fly, close. Yeah, well done. Okay, so you can have a little go with that one. Obviously, once the dog has got it quite nicely, then what you can do is you can do it on a move. So they can walk forwards, fly, side, yes, fly, close. Good boy, well done. Good boy. Okay, so have a little bit of fun with that one. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our cones in a bit of a wiggly line. We're going to do a bit of a wiggly line with them, aren't we? Are we? So this time, we're going to go in and out of the cones. So my dog on the left-hand side, we have the cone on his left-hand shoulder to begin with, and we're just going to do this kind of wiggly line up to the other end, and then back along this way. Now, if your dog isn't paying attention to you, you might feed them every couple of steps. It really doesn't matter. So if my dog wasn't paying attention, rather than the dog get it wrong, I'd rather my dog get it right. So close, nice, good, ready, good, ready, good, ready, good, nice. Wow. Good, very good. Good boy. Okay, so we've started off with a very, very wiggly line. But now what you're going to try and do is you're going to try and get to the stage where you're almost doing like a left turn at each cone to make it a little bit harder for the dogs. So if my dog's on the left hand side, I'm going to walk near the cone, I'm going to left turn with it, I'm going to walk around the cone and turn a bit sharper the other way. I'm going to go through that gap, sharp turn, sharp turn, sharp turn, sharp turn. We're going to go this way. Sharp turn on the outside this time. Yes, good boy. Nice. Ready? Sharp turn to the left. Nice. Sharp turn to the left. Good boy. Left. Good boy. And then come back this way. Sharp turn to the right. If your dog overswings it just means it needs a little bit more help. So if your dog is swinging one way or the other, you just need to give it a little bit more help. Slow your body movements down so that as you go to do that turn, you're going nice and slow so the dog can get it right. Good boy. And then you might set off normally, and then you might slow it right down so the dog can absolutely get it right so that you can feed it, but actually moving its back end again. So it's another little way of being able to get the dogs to move their back ends. Okay. What was the other one? Okay. So once you've done it on the left hand side, you could then try that on the right hand side, or you could try it in your reverse heel work position. So the heel work position that we were doing the other week. So that as you go forward, you're doing that wiggly line around the cones. Good boy. Making sure that the dog is engaged with you all the while. Nice. Good boy. Very good. Just makes it a little bit more interesting for the dog. So I hope you have fun learning those ones. Go and have a nice time.